Are you sitting comfortably, my excellent friends? Then let me tell you a story. A roller coaster tale of a director of football, his assistant manager, and a critical brain-bending decision that must be made by the end of this episode. Welcome to the Director of Moneyball. I am the Director of Football in FM24, so I'm playing with no tactics, no training, no team talks, and no team selection. From Tier 6 all the way to the Premier League. That is my goal, and we are doing things the Moneyball way. When last we were together, Hemel Hempstead were in 8th place in the Vanarama National League South, just outside the playoff positions on goal difference, and we had recovered from 1 point in our first 3 matches to pick up 3 victories in a row, followed by a victory against Truro City. But our star striker Terrell Whittaker had been struck down with a twisted ankle. He would be out for up to 6 weeks. 2 matches away against 7th place Chelmsford and underperforming Worthing would be a serious test for Sam Cox and his Hemel Hempstead team. And sadly, they really were. We held our own against Chelmsford away from home, even number of shots, fairly equal XG, and we did dominate possession. We even had the better of the match momentum, but both goals from either team were remarkably similar. A lofted cross from the right, an attacker rising at the back post, looping a header over a goalkeeper who should have done a lot better. At Worthing's home of Woodside Road, though, the Sussex Transport Community Stadium, we were comprehensively outplayed. They managed to achieve double our shots on goal, double our XG, and double our score. We went down 2-1, both of their goals coming in the first half, a half in which we created almost nothing. Worthing continued to create in the second half, but Cox's changes did grab us a goal back late on. Too little, too late. Good timing then after a 2-game winless streak for an FA Cup second round qualifying tie against Harrow Borough from Tier 7. This would prove to be a very welcome distraction from our slump in National League South form, and no doubt it was an incredible day out at the Focus Community Arena for all of the fans who turned up. We hammered Harrow Borough 5-2. Welcome Harrow, and we're sorry. We're not sorry. We bossed possession in this game, controlling about 2/3 of the play, but we only had around 14 shots. Our XG was inflated by a penalty, but everything we struck turned to gold. More questions need to be asked, however, about King, our goalkeeper, after their first goal. But 2 goals for Williams, who has been an absolute revelation wide on the right of midfield, always getting himself into very dangerous areas. They scored a thunderbolt for their second before we took the lead with a spot kick, and it was penalty box pinball for our fourth, the ball eventually falling to right back Judd, who blasted low and true, and their goalkeeper should have done much better when Krasnicki struck our 5th. Would this morale-boosting performance carry through to our next league game? Well, yes, it did. But we were very lucky. New signing Dylan Barnett made his debut in this match, picking up a 7.9 on his first start. And we were expecting great things from him for the rest of the season. At 26 years old, he's arguably at his peak age, and he fulfills nearly all of our expected club DNA attributes. Fantastic physical ability for this level of football. He sadly never made it at Brighton, but has played a huge amount of football in the Irish First Division for the last few years. He enjoys big matches, and nothing on his report about being injury prone. I'm expecting fantastic things. Possession was always in our favour against Torquay, but they created twice as many openings as us, 15 shots on goal compared to 7 from our Hemel Hempstead side. Craig King had a very strong game after stumbling against Harrow. That was a massive help. And our first goal was Route 1 gold. Long ball from deep, first time cross, first time finish. Alfie Matthews filling the Terrell Whitaker-shaped void pretty well there, and poor defending allowed the centre-back Hill to grab our second from a corner. That XG shows just how closely matched we were. Despite 61% possession, again, we got lucky to win by 2 clear goals. So of course, in our next match, that luck would run out. Hastings United play in the Ryman League Premier Division, another Tier 7 club, so a fantastic club for us to draw at home in the 3rd qualifying round of the FA Cup. Or so you would think. We played so well. 67% possession, 2.46 XG, 19 shots. But we were outdone by goalkeeping errors again. We took the lead twice. Whitaker straight back in the team after injury and doing what he does best. But we cannot continue to drop results because of ridiculous goalkeeping clangers. Craig King's coaching report says he's fairly inconsistent, and that's definitely borne out in the matches we've seen him play so far. The fans really like him, but I'm not convinced yet. Whitaker created our second for himself, almost single-handedly, but we let Radari into space to stroke home the equaliser and set up our Wednesday night trip to the seaside for the replay. Whitaker had a quiet game this time out, and we let Hastings have 19 shots on goal. But, thankfully, we had 17 shots of our own, and 2 goals by new boy John Luca Levy, now the 2nd best player at Hemel Hempstead Town Football Club, kept us in the game. And we grabbed the winner from an own goal. I have no idea how that went in, but it did, and we are through to the 4th qualifying round of the FA Cup. And we won £5,620 for winning in the 3rd qualifying round, which is almost our entire bank balance at this current moment in time. Definitely some pressure for us to beat Ebbsfleet in the next round then and keep that prize money flowing. So, on the 7th of October, 10 matches down in the National League South, we sat in 7th place. 17 points from 10 games, and into the 4th qualifying round of the FA Cup. We had been scoring goals for fun, and next we were away at Tunbridge Angels. I flying in 3rd place, but a lowly 33-1 bet for promotion. Triple our odds of 11-1. The scene was set for a statement Hemel Hempstead victory. So, of course, everything, and I mean everything that could go wrong, did go wrong. We took the lead from a Whitaker penalty, but conceded an equaliser within a minute of the restart. And 4 minutes after that, a Tunbridge cross from the left wing bounced off of Judd's shin, rolled between our goalkeeper and defender to the back post, where Mampolo finished beautifully to take the lead for Tunbridge. In the 41st minute, Magat was sent off for a 2nd yellow card. George Williams was injured in the 71st minute, and goalkeeper Craig King, who actually had an 8 rating up to that point, had to go off the field in the 92nd minute with a suspected arm injury. Striker Alfie Matthews gamely put on the gloves, but conceded a 3rd in the 94th minute. 31 shots for Tunbridge, and a fractured lower arm for our first choice goalkeeper. Thankfully, miraculously, we had a senior goalkeeper in on trial, and we convinced him to sign for £450 a week. So welcome to Ryan Sanford, the joint 2nd highest paid player at Hemel Hempstead. He is, on paper, better shot stopper than King. Also has League 2 potential. He played in the National League last season for Maidstone, so maybe that injury to King would actually lead to things working out for the best. Well, not exactly. Sanford conceded 7 goals in his first 3 matches. 4 of those came in a match for the ages against Ebbsfleet in the 4th qualifying round of the FA Cup. 1,369 fans turned up to watch the highest scoring match so far this season, more than double our next best attendance. Ebbsfleet, of course, were National League opposition playing in the division above us, and it showed as they carved us open twice in the first 22 minutes. However, in the 24th minute, Whittaker brought us to life with a penalty, which was cancelled out by a deflected shot from Joshua Bailey on the stroke of half-time. So we went in at the break 2 goals down. And that did not last long. Jay Isaac drove a low cross to the near post, which Hines poked home within 57 seconds of the restart. 2-3. Hines turned provider in the 52nd minute, setting up Whittaker. 3-3. All square. 68th minute defensive calamity for Ebbsfleet, the ball being cleared straight into the path of Briscoe, who curled into the open goal. 4-3. And in the 74th minute, Briscoe and Whittaker combined. First time finish from Whittaker, 5-3. In the 80th minute, we gave Ebbsfleet far too much time though, and space on the edge of our box, and Jordan took full advantage with a low drive, 5-4. However, we held on and made it into the draw for the first round of the FA Cup. Would we take this free scoring form back into the league? 2 goals in the first 12 minutes suggested it would be another goal fest. Whittaker scored the first, and I think Chippenham defender Abbott is a Hemel Hempstead fan. He completely blocked the Chippenham goalkeeper from clearing the ball. Whittaker took advantage for his 14th goal of the season. We gave Johnson space to run into in the 12th minute, which he duly took advantage of for an equaliser, and that was it. We had 6 other shots on target, but could not beat their goalkeeper. 5 of our players scoring a 7 or higher rating. Looking good again. It did not last. Before our next match against Dover, I let Kyle Ajayi leave for Worthing Football Club. He'd played 4 seasons at Hemel Hempstead and did make 5 substitute appearances this season, but his quality level as a leading regional Premier Division player and not enjoying big matches suggested he was not going to get into the team at all, now that I had far higher calibre central defenders to choose from. He joined Daniel Powell in departing the club, who had left a month previously, and I used these departures to play around with our wage budget and keep it as high as possible. Now that we had a more balanced squad, I removed our scouting budget entirely, forced it into our transfer budget, converted it to wage budget, and we had a whopping £48 a week left to spare. However, Joe Ray was on the verge of departing to either Kings Lynn, Basingstoke, Lowestoft or Concord Rangers, a player who started the season incredibly well, but in our pecking order now that we've improved the calibre of our midfield, very unlikely to get regular game time. So I would much rather we had that £250 a week available for new, younger players. And as you can see here, I had a few central defenders in on trial in hope of finding one who could give us more strength in depth at the back, which we really needed because we conceded 2 more goals against Dover Athletic. The first 3 goals in this match were pretty special. A great free kick from Dover opened the scoring. Whittaker turned provider, taking a corner which Williams looped above the keeper into the far corner of the goal for our first, then a wonder strike from Whittaker himself to put us in the lead away from home, but it was not to be. Dover had dominated XG and our fragile defence was breached again. Another 3 points thrown away, and it was after this result that I seriously started to question Sam Cox. Just 1 win in our last 6 league games, and just 2 clean sheets against Maidstone and Torquay in 17 competitive matches so far this season. Our supporters might well want us to play attacking football, but Moneyball rules clearly state defence is more important than attack, certainly in terms of personnel, and after conceding 22 goals in 13 matches in the league, it was no wonder we had dropped to 11th place. Still within 2 points of the playoffs, but I had serious questions about the man in charge on match day. A visit from 5th placed Braintree extended our winless league run to 4 games and saw us lose only our 2nd home game of the season. Once again, we gave up far too many chances. 24 shots for Braintree in this match, 12 on target, and shocking defending again for their opener. Whittaker did what Whittaker does best, however, to get us back in the game, but we didn't clear our lines from a corner. Excellent strike for Braintree, but we should not have let it fall to them in the box. Their winner was a goal of the month contender, a truly sublime cold strike, and Whittaker's second from a defensive error was too little too late. So, I made a few phone calls. While I was busy with some surreptitious negotiation behind the scenes, we welcomed relegation battlers Dartford and somehow, some way, ran away with a 4-0 victory. This time, it was Dartford's turn for some atrocious set-piece defending, with a few rounds of head tennis concluding with Hill opening the scoring for us. Our second came from a corner at the other flank, played short to Whittaker, eventually falling to Hines, who hammered it past Beanie, the Dartford keeper. Number 3 was yet another corner, and yet more awful Dartford defending. Whittaker probably won't get an easier chance all season than poking home at the back post. And our fourth, another set piece, this time a throw, a cross, and Briscoe heading home at the far post. Fantastic result. Except Dartford had an XG of 1.92 in this match, 19 shots on goal, and the match stats suggest this should have been a draw. And that brings our tale to its cliffhanger. Sam Cox's Hemel Hempstead have climbed to 9th place in the Vanarama National League South. We are 4 points off the playoffs. Terrell Whittaker is the division's top scorer, and in our next 3 league matches, we travel to 14th placed Aveley and 17th placed Havant and Waterlooville, welcoming 8th placed Taunton to the Focus Community Arena. Our odds for the title have dropped from 11 to 9 to 1, and this is a big opportunity for us to put some points and more goals on the board, to say nothing about improving our team cohesion and morale. But is Sam Cox the man to achieve those objectives? The XG table suggests we have scored 3 goals more, conceded 2 goals less, and gained 2 more points than we truly deserve, and we should be sitting in 12th place, very firmly, perfectly mid-table. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and I have offered a contract to Liam Reid, previously under-18s assistant manager and head of youth development at Barrow. He appears to be a better judge of ability and potential than Sam Cox. He also has slightly improved tactical knowledge. He may not have as high a level of discipline, he may not be as much of a motivator, but he plays a more balanced style and, critically, a 4-3-3 formation that I believe could get much more from the players in our squad than Sam Cox's 4-4-2. Whittaker certainly would be happy on the wing. Briscoe prefers to play wide on the left. And George Williams, who has been absolutely rocking this division on the right of midfield, would be more at home in a slightly more advanced role. On the downside, we only have 1 defensive midfielder, Jethro Hansen, and I would have to hope that his consistency and enjoyment of big matches could help him improve his current ability pretty quickly. And this is the critical decision. The board have blocked the signing of Liam Reid as they feel we don't need another assistant manager. However, if we remove Sam Cox from the same role, Liam can join us. It's going to cost us £6,000 to do so, which is a massive call to make for a club that's only got £8,500 in the bank. So what do I do, my excellent friends? Who should take charge of Hemel Hempstead against Yeovil in the first round of the FA Cup? Keep the faith with Sam Cox or roll the dice for Liam Reid? I need your wise words. Tell me, what would you do? And subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so you can find out how this decision goes. The future of these 2 managers depends on it.